In July 2018, Tom took his 3-year-old pooch, Billy, out for a hike in Tiger Mountain State Forest. It was a clear and hot day for the Northwest, about 90 degrees. You could see Mount Rainier through the gaps in the evergreen canopy, and the trails were mud-free. Billy bounced along the trail, his long, thin snout chortled with each new scent it picked up. His bushy tail whipped back and forth as he strode through the forest. Billy was a big boy, well over 100 pounds, with black highlights over a gray and white undercoat. When he stood up on his haunches, his nose would touch his 6'1" human companions. Tom never knew what kind of mud he was, so he recently set out a DNA test to figure it out. But today was about nature, and the pair loved to hike. When the fall and winter rains came to this area near Issaquah, Washington, the trails would get thick with mud, and the rocky hillsides would become a bit hazardous. Tom slipped here a year ago and broke his ankle crossing a rocky section used for mountain biking. It was a couple of hours into their hike when the pair came across a black bear on the path. Billy planted his feet, arched his back, and his fur stood on end. He dropped his head and his jowls pulled back to expose his fangs. Billy let out a deep growl that sounded more like an earthquake rumbles than a dog. The black bear didn't seem to mind. It took a few steps forward and stood up on its back legs. The bear began to sway with its arms at its side. Tom pulled back hard on Billy's leash, but the dog wouldn't budge. "I really thought it was going to charge us," he said, "and Billy would get torn apart by it." The bear took another step forward, but stopped. It looked past Billy and Tom to something behind them. "You know, I thought other hikers were behind us, or maybe it was a ranger that showed up," Tom said. Behind them, a fog had formed. Red circles darted through the mist and settled into 3 pairs. The fog bank then shifted into 3 shapes. Each had pointed ears, an arched back, and bushy tail. The red eyes lowered, and the shapes growled. The black bear stepped back, then turned to run as the foggy creatures pounced. They ran through Tom and Billy. I don't know how to explain it," he said. It felt like a regular fog, cool and damp. I felt a bit of a jolt when they ran past me. The fog pack chased the bear down the trail and into the woods, the mist breaking up as it went into the trees. Tom looked at a now relaxed Billy, and the duo went back to their car and left. Tom hasn't mentioned this experience until now. A week later, Billy's DNA test came back. It turns out Billy is 10% more wolf than your average mutt. Tom said he had heard that wolves won't leave a pack mate alone when there's a threat. And maybe that's what happened along the trail. Thank you for listening. If you're interested in more ghost stories, you can go to my website, ghostlyactivities.com, and select the category Ghost Stories. Some are true, some not so true, and some are just good fun. Thank you.